Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome to the show. I am the leader of the pack, or David. Thank you for joining our live stream. If you're catching us on a replay, man, we can't thank you enough for that. So please give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. We are so glad to have you here. I am busy in the office today, kind of hanging out and working. Got some stuff to work on while we chat and get organized. Oh, man. Uh-oh. My lily dog must be a hair in the... All right. Man, I got so many little things I'm working on. Sometimes you get so many little things that you got to get done. It's kind of hard to know where to start, so to speak. But that's okay. We will figure it out together. Hello, everybody. Thank y'all. Oh, crap. I'm making a mess. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up. Don't be shy about anything today. And get back over here to say hello to everybody. Jay's in the house, good to see you. Kaylee's in the house, good to see you. What's the topic of the discussion? You, my friend. Anything you want to discuss, we can discuss. We can discuss it. I got a bad charging cable. Hi to y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Greeting from Indonesia. How are you there? We are doing great here. We are doing great. Black Skylar, how are you? J Clips, greeting from Indonesia. We're doing good. Somebody else from Indonesia. Nice to have you here. What disqualifies you from being a U.S. citizen? Do you mean as an existing U.S. citizen where you can lose your citizenship? Or do you mean if you want to become a citizen? Disqualifies it. Yes, Indonesia. We've always wanted to visit Indonesia. We haven't got there, but it's definitely on the bucket list of places we'd like to see. Very much so. Does anybody have YouTube channels? Are you guys YouTubers? Thank you all for the thumbs up. Don't forget to do that. Very important. Or if you don't give me a thumbs up, YouTube will get mad at me. All right, let's see. Becoming one. Fraud. Okay, if you try to fraud the government when you're trying to become a citizen. So if you forge documents from your home country, that's one. If you've ever been here before and you've overstayed your visas, that's another one. Two, your criminal record, your criminal history, even in your own home country, is a big factor also. Those are the three biggies right there. Yes, all right, let me see. Young Miss Kaylee has 2 subscribers. Good to see you, young lady. How old are you? How old do you think I am? I know you're very, very young. You more than likely should probably be doing homework, right? But thank you for coming in, young lady, and subscribing and liking and sharing. But the real question is, when I get asked this question a lot, I always like to propose it and say, how old do you think I am? And you think I'm 50 years old, so my theory on this is, okay, I'm as old as you want me to be. I'm as old as you think I am. Age, to me, is not super relevant. So there you go. J Clips in the house. Jar Boy is in the house too. It's still windy in my part of the world. We've been working on a lot of YouTube stuff lately. So I'm trying to get some things done here in my office today. We hope all of you wonderful people are staying safe and sound and doing good in life. That's our main goal, is hopes that you guys are doing great in life. There you go. We were doing a bunch of things this weekend, and all right, see you later. Good to have you. Do whatever makes you happy. What is your channel? Your name? Solo? You just go and make yourself happy. We don't care if you stay or go. That's on you. That's the greatest thing about being where we're at. You can do whatever you want. If you don't like somebody's YouTube channel, you don't got to watch them. That's the greatest thing in the world about YouTube. Oh, I need to keep that out. So we were out and about. We had to go to some festivals over the weekend. So I'm trying to get all my stuff organized, put away a little bit, better organized, my resources. I try to be somewhat organized, but it doesn't seem to happen a lot. Let me do that. We bought a really good tripod a while back, and man, I am really, really happy with it. I've broken so many tripods over the years that I'm really excited about this one. Ouch. There we go. There we go. I need to, that's one thing I got to do today. Crap. What is wrong? Oh. There we go. I need to put that away. Marco's in the house. How are you? I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for coming in. How are you? What are you up to this fine day? I am just busy in the office today. I got some videos I'm working on, but I realized I kind of got a mess going on in my office. So I need to put some things away and clean up my mess, so to speak. So I'm working on that today. All right, and I'm gonna make something in a little bit. Hold on. We're doing fantastic. I hope all of you wonderful people are doing fantastic also. There we go. I'm gonna try to get the chat pulled up here. I can read it a little better when I'm over here. Wow. Oh, it didn't charge, did it? All right. So now we know this cable, this charging cable right here in my hand, it's no good. It's just no good. So instead of keeping it around and trying to use it and forgetting that it was bad, all of that stuff, I'm going to throw it away. Get it out of here. I'm going to cut it in two so I never have to worry about going, yay, I should use that one. All right. We're doing good now, boys and girls. control. I'm missing the remote control. Anybody know where I put the remote control? That's a real good question. Disaster been averted. I found it. Jim C is in the house. Jim, how are you today? We hope you're doing well, my friend. Looks like my wife has been borrowing my knife. Something. Man, my little handy knife is a mess. Try to hang. Man, I got a lot going on today. Had to go pick up medicine at my vet's office for my dog Lily. She needed more of her eye drop medicine. We give her a very special eye drop medicine. She doesn't produce enough tears, so we got to give her some medicine, and it also keeps her from getting an eye infection. All right, I think it's going to be long enough now. Woohoo! I'm making headway. I'm making headway. I'm trying to find I'm hanging up my hats today. I got a hat to work on, but you guys stay right there. I'm going to go get something. I need something. Go get some. there either. I'm back. I had to go get my my little grabber. I'm going to try to hang some string up on a hook way up there. I'm not. Carmen says, "Hey, Pac, what's up?" Carmen, not a lot. What's up with you? How are you doing today? I don't think this is tall enough. I'm going to go get my longer one of these and see so I don't have to use a ladder. You guys hang on a second. Keep the fork down and say hello to each other. Let's see if this is going to work. Oh, look at that. Much better. I won't even have to get the ladder out. Won't even have to get a ladder out. I'm very excited. You guys all there make friends with each other. Say hello. Don't be shy about doing that. This is going to be like surgery. Lucky there. I could have been a surgeon in another life. All right. I'll have to work on that. Maybe it's a little too low for me, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on with it. All right. Get that out of the way. There we go. Yeah, it's a mess. We might have to clean that up, make it a little nicer. But for now, I think it's okay. Wish I just had another one of these. I need another one of these. I thought I had one. Oh, that's where that went. I've been looking for this for weeks. I knew. I thought I had another. Success! We'll be able to accomplish the world today. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. All right. I'm kind of confused, but you know what? I always seem to be a little bit confused these days. All right. Maybe I can just knock this out. What do you guys think? You think I can knock this out? I'm hoping I can knock it out. Ah, I see. I didn't record my voice, right? All right, got to stop right there. I'm going to back it up to right about there. Okay. Welcome in and thank you for joining me. We got another great little cool gadget for you today. I am David with the Adventures of PAC. That's the Philippine American couple. Thank you for joining me. Okay. Yeah. Hello, how are you? How are you today? Kama, how are you? What's going on in your world? Good to see you as always. Thank you for the thumbs up and thinking of us. Without all of you wonderful people out there, we are just a simple YouTube channel. I do remember your name. I do. I'm not for sure what we chatted about, but I remember you being here. So welcome back. It's always good to have you back. How you been doing? Everything going good? I'm trying to multitask today. A lot of people out and about in my window here. I almost forgot what we have. Maybe I need to make a couple of notes. You guys remember how much I like taking notes. We chatted about the concept of anti-naturalism, okay? The concept of not giving birth to a child without compassion. Oh, yeah. I kind of remember now. And or considering unfair a world of rat race. Yeah, I got you. I remember that. I do. Did I win the argument? Did we have an argument? Did we have a good conversation? I remember that. I do. That wasn't too long ago. And how you been doing since our last discussion? Have you come up with any new philosophies? New philosophies of the world? I'm always trying to. I love philosophy. I love hearing from people. I like knowing what others think, even if they don't agree with me or I don't agree with them. I'm still one of these people that really likes to know what people think. Not now. I'm working on something that came in. That sucked. I gave that a bad review. Haven't tried that. Ruh-roh. The world is a rat race, I can tell you that. And it's not a very fun rat race. I don't enjoy the drama of the world myself. I think too many people work too hard to try to make things difficult for others. And I don't like that. Holy crap, man, they jacked the price up way high on this one. Let's see. I do agree that the anti-naturalism is the best way to avoid suffering rather than coming to the world and then creating and then fixing the problems of life. Okay, so let me think. Let me think. So, are we trying to say right? So, simply put, what you're saying is the planet, of course, would be better off without all of us humans, which I totally agree with. I totally agree with that. If, I joke because I've visited a lot of places over my lifetime. And I've got like, I was in California, Los Angeles one time. And I looked around and thought, wow, this would be a really nice place if it wasn't for all the humans. So I kind of get what you mean there. But if we don't, obviously, if nobody's giving birth, then the species ends, right? And I think your argument is, well, if I was never born, then I could never suffer, which I think your argument is valid. Obviously, if you've never been born, you can never suffer. But let's expand it a tiny bit down the road and say this. And I know you could blanket it and say, okay, what we're going to do is say nobody ever should be born because suffering would happen. But since we are born, and we are given life, and we can't do a lot about that, that a lot of people think about it. There is a school of thought why somebody is on this planet, on this earth, is born into that race, that country, that religion, is because there's a purpose for them in relationship to somebody else. Suppose you get 10 minutes of maximum pleasure on the cost of 10 minutes of maximum suffering. Would you be ready for the deal? You're getting up. Yeah, well, I think that's what we get. I think, it's maybe not limited to 10 minutes, but we get maximum happiness and suffering. We get that. We get all that we can handle. We do. We already get that. So, yes, I guess I'm ready for it because, I do believe with your time thing, it kind of balances out, right? What's the purpose to give purpose? That's a great question. And like we said, if there's nobody here, then there is no purpose. But since there are people here, the purpose, and you got to go on to you either got to decide that there's life or non-life. If you're down the road of no life, then none of what we're talking about even matters. But if you're talking about that there is life, then there's a discussion to be had. Because without life, there is nothing else to discuss, right? But I think we live in pleasure and we live in pain. Trust me. I've been there, done that. I've suffered and rejoiced many times over and over. And I think for the most part, there's not a lot of things most humans would change, They may have some regrets. But I think, the purpose, the real question is, why are we here? What's our purpose, right? Why were we even created in the first place? That's some of the real questions. And you can go way down these rabbit holes and say, well, we're food for the aliens. We are just, entertainment for the aliens. We are an experiment for the aliens. You can go down that road. You can go down the road that we're just microscopic organisms and we don't know that we're more microscopic organisms in the universal world of things. So, you can go down many different theoretical, hypothetical roads when it comes to why. And do I have an answer? No. I debate even with myself back and forth. There's days that I wish I wasn't alive. There's days that I guess I'm happy that I am alive. There's definitely been times I wish I wouldn't have survived situations, but I did. So, but as an old guy, I have come to realize if you're going to accept the fact that there are relationships, we may not understand why we know somebody at all. We may not understand it. We may not understand why our path has crossed with somebody else. We may not understand that until much later or never. What we do, which is a fault of ours, which is, it's just human nature, is we're always looking for the benefit to us. All right, so it's kind of like, oh, well, I'm going to be, Johnny's friend. Well, I'm Johnny's friend. Johnny's a mess. Johnny needs this. I'm here to help give guidance and all of that stuff. And by God, Johnny needed me in his life. Well, that may be true, but there may be another truth to this. The other side of that coin may be the fact that Johnny came along at a time in your life when you needed to feel like you needed to be needed. See where I'm going with all this? So relationships aren't one-sided. And a lot of times we miss that point. So when a relationship ends, we go, well, shit. But it's hard for humans to stop and go, wow, yes, the relationship is over with, whatever type of relationship it is. But look what I gained from it mentally, maturity-wise, psychologically. Yes, I gave a lot, but I got something in return. Tim is in the house. Good evening, my friend Tim. How are you? How are you, Tim? How's the weather? Man, it got cold again here. We had a snow blizzard on Sunday. Supposed to be 80 by Thursday or Friday. I think we're all going to die of freezing temperatures. So, hope things in the Philippines are going well. I'm wearing one of my new shirts. If you didn't see my topless shirt thing. Man, a lot of people outside today. All right, a lot of people going crazy back there. What is this? Let me shut this. Woohoo, down to 62 on Saturday morning. Oh my goodness gracious. How did you survive that? I did read it. What is I did, about the 10 minutes versus 10 minutes. I talked about that. We live that every day. So pain versus pleasure, which holds more weight? It's equal. And I think it's some people can, look, there's some people that can handle physical pain way better than emotional pain. Some people can handle emotional pain extremely well, but not physical pain. And there's some people that can handle both. Some people can handle joy and excitement very well, and some people can't. We have a lot of people in society that are bipolar. They're manic and they're down, up and down, all over the place. Yeah, it was very cold. So if you're asking me to pick, I can't. I think they're equal. I think they're equal. There is no greater than in this equation. You got pain and suffering and pleasure. They're equal. Very cold. Yeah, it's warming up. It's going to be up in the 80s this week. I've had a really bad headache the last couple of weeks, and I don't know why. Maybe I got a brain tumor. But I need to get out of my funk, is what I need to do, Tim. I need to and I'm not really doing that because I need to lose a little bit more weight. I need to be more active. I'm bored. So I got to do something, Tim. All right, let me get over here. We have a Gene Key adjustable humidity control with a night light, quiet motor, water level window, which is very helpful. It holds 7 liters and does approximately 500 square feet. I really like the fact that you can adjust the humidity level all the way from 0 up to 95%. Very important to me. It also comes with a remote control and is Wi-Fi capable. The price for gas and diesel have almost doubled in the Philippines. It's going down here. I mean, what's crappy is we paid $2.95 a gallon yesterday because we need to get gas. Maybe it's Sunday. It's $2.83 here. So I don't know what's happening, but our gas has gone down. The MAC, Tim, which I'm happy about. Stock market's up. Gas is down. But yeah, it went from, we paid $2.95 yesterday, Sunday. And now when I had to go out and get the medicine for my dog, and, I saw that it was down to like $2.83 and $2.84. So that's a pretty big jump in, 48 hours. The Scotty B's in the house. Good morning, sir. How are you, my friend? How are you doing in the Philippines? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. Got a bad headache, but other than that, I'm doing all right. Tim is saying hello to you, Scotty B. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with gas, and I guess a lot of that oil came from, Iran area that went down to Asia, and so maybe it's not affecting America as much. Scotty says hello to you, Tim. Good to see you. Oh. But there has to be a gameplay going on. There is something going on in the world that we're not privy to. There's a hustle there's something going on that, you know. Yeah, Scotty, Tim was saying you guys had a winter front come in, you know. All right, hold on. So Gemma still says, sir, you're able to read my latest comment on cut finger knife? No, I've never seen anything about a cut finger. Sorry. Maybe it's one of the comments that YouTube didn't post. But no, I don't see anything about a cut finger. Yeah, YouTube does that a lot. I don't know why or how, but there's a lot of times people will throw a comment up. I never see it. The last one I got from you was if you're asking me if I've seen the comment about a cut finger. And I hadn't. Yep, it's been all the way down to 71 at night here. Woohoo! Man, how did you guys bear it? How did you guys survive? Oh my goodness. You want me to send over some electric blankets? You know, maybe some electric heaters? Now, electricity costs too much. You have to get some charcoal and just put it in the house and build your own little fireplace and stay warm there in the Philippines. I guess they were getting a blizzard weather up in Minnesota and Michigan and all that area. So I'm seeing a little bit of that on the news today, but not here. Sunday afternoon, we had a real snowstorm came through, but it wasn't cold enough to stick yet. But if it would have been, we would have got probably an inch. I mean, because the snow came fast and hard. 62 for Tim, Scotty. Had to get the whole hoodie out of the... That's okay. Oh, man. Instead of people going to the mall to cool off, they went to the mall to warm up, huh? You know? Everybody's hanging out at the Jollibee where it's warm, where the ovens are. That's funny. Pretty funny, man. 62, very nice, yes. Sunday night, it was 19 degrees here. But we're supposed to be 80 degrees by Thursday. So you guys figure that one out. Probably all going to die from temperature inversion syndrome. But man, I'm going to make a video. I'm working on some videos this week. I got to get some videos out. And I did put a little short out about those little red hot dogs, but I got a new video coming out about that. So, gonna be cold enough to snow pretty soon. Has the planet shifted on its axis? Is that the problem? Maybe the equator is now, somewhere else. The world is changing as we see it. Right? Is that what's happening? Maybe that means that the lottery ticket I bought will win. I need to win the lottery. Nobody will give me any money, so I need to win the lottery. I agree. 60, especially if there's a little bit of moisture in the air, right? So if you guys got some moisture in the air, 62 is cool. I had a rule back when I was pretty healthy, and I was still doing a lot of river fishing, when I could still walk back, 15 years ago, that I had a rule. If it was below 68 degrees, I didn't go to the river. Because I knew down at the river where the trout were, it was going to be probably 15 degrees cooler. And you guys all know how much I hate cold weather. So I kind of had a rule. I didn't go to the river if it was below 68 degrees. I don't like that cold weather. I did get a couple new kitchen gadgets in. I'm excited about that, guys. Luke is in the house. Luke, I remember you. How are you? Thank you all for the thumbs up and saying hello to each other. Ah, my girl has the long sleeves pants and her kids have a hoodie. And if nothing else, you can always wrap yourself up into a whole bunch of different blankets. But Scotty, I gotta believe, and Tim, I gotta believe that you guys are gonna be okay. You know, I gotta believe you guys are gonna be okie dokie. Oh my goodness. I know below eight. Well, you know what blew my mind was, everybody said hello to Luke for me if you would. What blew my mind was when you'd go to the mall and the kids, I know as Lorelai told me it's because they thought it was cool, but you'd see kids in the mall wearing sweatshirts and sweaters. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm in the mall in the Philippines and I'm in shorts and a shirt like this, and I'm sweating my ass off. And these kids are running around in sweaters and big heavy sweatshirts because it's fashionable. Yes, I'll be okie dokie. Hello to you, the Scotty B Show from Luke. Hello, Luke. Hello, Luke. So, yeah. I cooked red hot dogs today. Man, those things are disgusting. But I made red hot dogs today. I made cornbread yesterday. We still don't have the house put away from the party. My wife is very, very slow at taking down her happy birthday decorations. I think she's enjoying having her happy birthday decorations all over the house. You know, so my garage is still not a garage anymore. But the weather's supposed to warm up, so I'm hoping I can get some energy. You know, when the weather's cold, I just gotta slow down to a grind, is what I do. Yeah. Lynn's complaining about it being too cold, and you're like, man, this is nice. Come on, baby. Let's go take us a walk and enjoy the evening. The stars. Yeah, the aircon can be cold in some restaurants. They are. They can. I agree. We went and ate sushi Saturday. We went to the Arkansas Tulips Festival. And then afterwards, we went and ate sushi at our favorite sushi place. We don't get there very often. One, they're pricey, but man, their food is good. But we were eating the sushi, and it's probably 6:30, 7 o'clock, and their air conditioner kicked on. And holy crap. Weather was starting to cool off a little, you know, and man, we got chilly. Luke says, my internet is bad. I will see you guys later. Luke, we appreciate you. I hope your internet gets better. Yep, Tim, saving money, not running the aircon for, yeah. My big thing is I try to have at least 2 months on spring, summer, and 2 months fall, winter, where I don't run the heater or the air conditioner as much as I can. Gamma says that one person gets a chance to experience maximum pleasure on the cost of losing a hand. Who wins here? Pain or pleasure? Considering the fact how your pain and pleasure receptors work. Well, I think it's an individual thing. You have to decide is what's your hand worth? And also, what do you consider maximum pleasure? I think I'll never run the heater. Yeah. So, and it sounds like to me that there is no winner in your scenario. But if you don't need that hand and you want a lot of pleasure, well, there you go. But if you want your hand, and are you trying to say you keep your hands and you never have pleasure, or you just never will reach maximum pleasure? Are you talking about like a one-time offer? One-time offer, you can have maximum pleasure or lose your hand? I wouldn't do that. I would choose to keep the hand because I don't need maximum pleasure, because there's a lot of things that give me pleasure, but it doesn't have to be all or nothing. My electric bill was higher this month. Crazy, the rate has got down. That's weird. You know, we've had a really mild winter, so I got my electric and gas bills the other day, and I was pretty happy with it. I'm like, oh, this is not bad, you know? Yeah, so I'm hoping in the next 4, 6 weeks, I won't have to run the AC or the heater much. Heaters in the Philippines, unheard of. Well, that's where you just go outside and you get the little grill. You go get your little grill and bring it inside. Wow. Scotty says, wow, Tim, our last electric bill was the cheapest in my 2 years here. Nice. Was it just because of the rate going down, or did you do something else? And why is the rate going down in the Philippines? That's interesting. I don't know why anything goes down anywhere anymore. Don't know why anything goes down. Down, down, down by the river. Yeah, we were talking about going to the Philippines. We've been talking, we're debating about when we're going back, and I keep telling Lorelai, I said, look, we have some business on some land stuff that we have going on, and I want to kill multiple birds at one stone, or I want to kill a lot of birds with one stone, so to speak. So we don't know when we're coming back. My current bill is $2,200. Wow. I think my current electric bill, now granted, we're on levelized billing here. My electric bill never gets above $90 a month, never. My gas bill never gets above $88 a month. So we heat with gas and cook with gas. So, yeah, that's what mine's averages. The first winter we were here, the builder screwed up my HVAC system and I didn't know it. So I had gigantic electric and gas bills, and I had to hire and spend $1,500 to have the HVAC system fixed correctly. Luthen's in the house. I just got finger blasted in a car park. All right. I'm not for sure what do you mean. You mean somebody flipped you off or somebody smashed your finger? If somebody flipped you off, you probably did something wrong, because people aren't touchy. They're not sensitive these days. People have very, very thick skin these days. So you must have done something horribly wrong. Well, Luthen, that sounds like something that you must enjoy happening. Obviously, because you're talking about it. If you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't be talking about it, right? And that's okay if you swing that away. Nobody's going to hold it against you. Nobody cares what you do with your finger and what butt you put your finger in. So, try to come up with something a little bit better, So ours are pretty good here, but the first year, yeah, they really jacked up my AC unit. I mean, and I had contractors out, and man, it was just a freaking disaster. I finally wind up having to pay about $1,500 the second winter to get it fixed correct. But since then, it's been much better. And I think this is our fourth winter here. More fun than an AC unit, air conditioning unit. So all that's working now. It's good. I'm ready to sell the house. I wish we could go live in Florida, but I'm too poor, So I have to go live in Alabama. Gotta go live in Alabama. Scotty says, our bill is usually around 7K, but last month, wow, all right. So I'm trying to do my math. 20, 40, 1,000 is 27. Wow. Okay. Under 200 bucks. Wow. So it went from 7K to 4K. So that's wow, that's quite a bit of a savings. That's a big jump. I think when we were living in the Philippines, ours always averaged about maybe $120 a month in both places, the condo and in the house we had. So, move to the Philippines is more fun. Yeah. I found it extremely boring. I think we've talked about this. You definitely got to have a plan for something to do in the Philippines if you're high functioning, right? And we all know this. So considering death is an obligation, not a choice. Just like birth, it's not a choice. This is true. Well, it's not a choice of ours, me. It's a choice of my parents, but not of me. It's been told that the pain is similar to like trillions of scorpion bites altogether. So from that point, is life worth it? I think it's individually up to you. If you can tolerate that pain and enjoy the pleasure, you're talking about, if all you're going to do is live that way, then no, I'm a big component of committing suicide. If you don't want to live anymore, then why worry about it? Just take care of it. If you're in bad health and you're not getting any better, and you want to go into a hospice program, which is suicide in a sense, legal medical suicide, I'm all for it. If you don't want to, I'm not going to force you to live. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people who's going to force you to do anything. It's just not my philosophy. My philosophy is you do what's best for you, and we'll let everybody else do what's best for them. I've worked with people and I've done some death counseling. I've gone with about 7 different people through hospice programs. I saw that the approval rates, I saw they approved the rates for the jeepney. Wow, they're going to charge you more for the jeepney. I guess that's because gas is going up, right? So they got to pass it on to the consumer. Which only makes sense, Scotty. But the real question is, when the gas goes back down, are they going to lower them again? No. It's kind of like Walmart. Walmart jacked all the prices up during COVID, and then, they jack them up by 100%, and then they lower them by 20%, so they still jacked them up 80%. And they go around saying, look at us, we lowered prices. Yeah, but you're still up 80%, I did see a video about cruising today where the cruising industry is saying they're going to pass the cost of fuel on, that they're having to pay more for fuel, so therefore, and what I don't know, and I know it's all about taxes, right? For instance, like the state of California is back up to almost $6 a gallon. We're $2.95 here. So if California really wanted to have cheap gas, they could, but California can't have cheap gas because he's ran off all of the businesses and nobody wants to be there anymore. It's the opposite of Florida. Ron DeSantis, who will probably run for president, has figured out that when it costs a lot of money to live in his state, people run away. When people run away, they don't spend any money in his state. So he loses tax revenue. So he's figured out that he's got to keep the cost of living down to bring all of us wannabe Florida people there to live there, to make it affordable for us to live there. So we'll go buy new furniture and a new roof and paint this and do that and buy art and go and eat and spend money. And he's figured that out. And so that makes it the revenue. California hasn't figured that one out yet. Nothing goes back down with gas once they get it jacked up prices. Things are not coming down. No, they're definitely not going to come down to its original price. I think you guys were telling me the other day, how much was it a couple of weeks ago per liter? Wasn't it like, man, what did you guys tell me? What was it a couple of weeks ago per liter? I do wish, I don't know what the game plan is or what the end results is going to be. But I will say this, I do wish the Iran thing would get over with. I'm a little disappointed it's taken us so long, but I almost think we're dragging it out for some other reason. You know, like Trump has kind of said, we have figured out who our friends are and who they're not with NATO. So I don't know if he's using it as a way to bust up NATO more or to build his leadership alliance that he did, his peace alliance that he made. You know, I don't know what's going on. Dear channel owner, that's my wife, but I pretend I own it. How would I define future? Something that the definition for me of future is something that hasn't happened yet. Real simple. The future hasn't happened yet. Whether it's for my dog, for the dishes in my cabinet, who's just sitting there, their future is at some point in time, I'll pull them out and eat on them. But it hasn't happened yet. The future is, I also think we have very little control over the future. All we can do is control our reaction to the future and do our best to minimize the damage or the effects that the future brings. So that's what I think. The future just hasn't happened yet. Wow, it just passed. See, and the future just passed. It's always passing. So, how do you define the future? I don't know what my future holds. I'm not happy with the direction that I foresee my future going. Not happy with it at all. Not looking back when I was still teaching college, getting ready to retire due to health issues. Before I met Lorelei, I had a future in mind. I had a plan in mind, but it never materialized. But I had a different future than what I had in mind. For good or bad, and there's a lot of both, it was a different future that happened. Dr. Emmett Brown is the only one that knows what the future may bring. He does. He's got the DeLorean time capsule. Those movies were really good. I mean, I have very fond memories of the Back to the Future movies because when they came out, the first one, I got done graduating high school in that window. And so, or maybe I was still in school. I don't know, but you know that window. There's about a 6-year window. But I have very fond memories because we had a buddy that had a really nice big TV room, and his mom and dad never was home. So we were able to go over there with our girly friends and plenty of beer and plenty of ganja and sit around and enjoy watching Back to the Future. So I remember the girls. So there you go. I remember that. I thought they were going to be making a new version or a new one. I thought they were going to be making a new Back to the Future. Are there, the real thing is if you could, and it wouldn't affect the butterfly effect, would you go back in time and change anything? And I've thought about this a lot. Would I go back in time and change things? Now, every time I think of that, I think back to this one point in time where I said something I wish I wouldn't have said, and it stays with me, right? So I wish I wouldn't have said that, and in that situation with awareness, I wouldn't have made the comment. But logically, I would go back in time and buy Bitcoin when it first started, and or Apple stock or IBM stock when it came out, so that I could afford to buy my wife a house. But when that question comes up, I sit back and go, the one thing that sticks in my mind is something I said one time. And it didn't hurt anybody. I just sit back and go, it was just so out of character of me, and cheesy, kind of cheesy. And I'm not a cheesy person. I love to eat cheese, but I'm not a cheesy person. So it's kind of like, yeah. But that's about the only thing I can think of for the past. Other than that, because I believe what has happened to us is shapes us, makes us who we are, what we are. Yep. Tim says, if I could go back in time, I would have saved more money and invested. I agree. If I could do a lot of things back in time, there's a lot of money I wouldn't have given away to help people. Because now I recognize it was a true waste. They truly did not long-term benefit from my generosity. And I wish I could go back and have all of that money back, because as I look back upon, they just used me. They just got what they could get and didn't bother to change their lives for the better. Now, maybe they enjoyed the money I gave them immediately for their good entertainment, I guess. But long term, because, trying to help people, it didn't help them. And I recognize that, and I've recognized that for years. That's why I haven't talked to them in many years. And I don't want to talk to them. So I agree. I'd go back and buy some Apple stock, maybe some Bitcoin. But more importantly, I think I would go back and not do certain things with my money. If I could clean up my financial mistakes, I would be sitting in that $5 million house down in Florida today, paid off. I can promise you that. So the whole gamble is not future. If we go from future to present, then to the past, can you defend it? Or just the definitions change? I think you got a good point. I think the definitions do just change. The past is something that's already happened. Can I defend what I've done in the past? I can rationalize it. The gamble is on the future. Okay, on the future. Yeah, I don't know. So the whole gamble is on the future. If we go from the future to the present, then to the past, can you defend it or just change? I think it just changes. If I had the money I wasted on other people, I'd have a very nice condo. Yeah, Tim, I can relate. If I would have all the money I wasted thinking I was doing the right thing, I'm telling you, we'd be in that beach house in Florida. It's been that much money. A lot of people don't realize this, but, yeah, even going to the Philippines and back, dropped my net worth by a big ass chunk. So, yeah, but I've made some bad boo-boos trusting people. Tim says, once the future gets here, it will be the present time. That's right. When the future arrives, it's no longer the future, it is the present. And shortly therefore after, it will be the past. It's like, water. Water goes from what? It can go from a liquid to a gas to a solid. Isn't time kind of the same thing? Time is something that's consistently passing. You can't stop it, you can't control it, you can't plan it, you can't manipulate it. Time is just what it is. It's one of those things. But yeah, there's a lot of things, I guess, small things I would do, but then again, as I said earlier, even though I don't like it, maybe all of that money that I lost to help people that didn't appreciate it, maybe somewhere, somehow, that was beneficial to somebody, whether it's myself or to somebody in the periphery, I don't know. We don't know the domino effects, or what I like to call the downstream effect. We don't know. We don't know where, it's kind of like the scenario is if I put a gallon of oil in a river, we don't know the downstream effects. We know it's going to be bad. It could go straight down the river. It could branch off to many little creeks and arms. It can be absorbed in the soil, into the trees. We don't know. Ooh, Tim, I like that. Time is like money. Once it's gone, you can never get it back. Boy, amen to that. And one thing I tell people all the time is don't give anybody money that you can't afford to give. And sadly, I guess at the time, I could afford to give away all of that money to help people out. But man, I sure do wish I had it now. And that's something I try to beat into the head of my wife. You got to understand, once money's gone, it's gone. You can't get it back. I don't care if you think your purse is worth $3,000. When you go to sell it, you're not going to get that, What do I think of the Indian religions, Baptists doing prediction on marriage, job, parenthood, India, citizens, and giving them a positive hope, and then asking them to do any random task? Well, here's what I think overall. I don't like religion. I don't mind faith and belief, but religion's a scam. I believe religions, churches, are a scam. They're a hustle. But a lot of people know that and like that. What I'll say this is, if the people that follow any faith want to give their money to some guy standing up there on a stage running his mouth, more power to you. If you want to give me money, more power to me. I gave away a lot of money, right? And I wish I had it back, but I can't. But I knew when I gave it away, I'd never see it again. A lot of people like the religion thing because it makes them feel good. They feel like they're part of something. And I've said this a whole bunch on this channel. Why do people join churches and religions? It's the same reason why they join gangs. It's the same reason that they join the military. They want to belong and feel like they're part of something. I feel like nothing more than patterns, reverse patterns, probability contradicts, and illusions. Nothing more than that. Yeah, well, lifelike. Well, everything is a pattern. But what you have to understand about patterns is how far out do you need to be to see the pattern, right? There's a pattern in everything. And sometimes we can see it. Look, here's the pattern. This pen has a flat side on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. That's the pattern. But there's also a pattern in cities, but I got to get way up in the sky to look at it. I got to step way back to see certain patterns. You got to look at time and history to see a pattern, or you can look at this pen to see a pattern. Just don't think so much about it. And I think Tim has a valid point. I believe since you can't do anything about the past, and there's not a whole lot you can do about the future, except for try to make a better future, then you shouldn't stress. And I stress too much over the future. I stress too much over the past. I do, without question. I beat myself up on a regular basis for mistakes I've made. And I try to kill myself working hard to prevent those mistakes for the future, for myself and my wife. And it's like beating a dead horse, right? And Tim is right. I wish I had the maturity to let it all go, but I don't. I'm not evolved enough to let it go. I'm just not. Tim, we both doing philosophers talk. I feel positive by thinking negative. God. I guess that's one way to look at it. If you know, at least you're able to think, so that's a positive thing, whether it's negative or good. I do think there's a valid point to that. I used to tell my students is, before we can make an improvement, we got to know what needs to be improved, and that's part of my problem. I know what needs to be improved, what needs to be changed for the future, for a better future. It's just extremely hard implementing that. Just do your thing every day, do the best you can, and to continue moving forward from Scotty. And I think that's, for some of us, Scotty, that's what we do, I guess. But it's frustrating because sometimes we know that we could do better, or we should have done better yesterday. And some of us, some of us don't ever want to be where we were. We don't want to revisit our past. So a lot of people don't want to revisit their past, and they work extremely hard to get out of that past, and they don't want to go back to that. But the past has a way of coming back to you. I'm a firm believer in this, and I'll tell you. If you always think about negative thoughts, you have a negative life. Always think positive. I agree. And Tim has probably heard my theory on this. Positive equals positive. Negative equals negative. Meaning, if you're having negative thoughts, negative things will happen. If you're around negative people, negative things will happen. If you're acting negatively, then negative things will happen. And the opposite. If you surround yourself with positive people, positive things will happen. If you think positively, positive things will happen. Just the way it is. I mean, it's basic physics. Psychological physics. Whatever you want to call it. It's just the reality of life. Now, it may not be to the level of positivity that we wish, Like, look, I kept asking for $5 million positively. I smiled and said, hi, everybody. Could you give me $5 million so I could buy a beach house for my wife? Well, it didn't happen. So, but at least we got to talk about how to manage money better. So, but I totally agree with you, Tim. I really, really do. I will admit it's extremely hard for me to do that all the time. I would agree. I think one thing I've learned in all of my 20,000 years of being alive is positive people, happy people live a hell of a lot longer than us negative people. Us people that stress over things. Without question. Without question. You know, my wife, your wives, everybody out there, you know, the Filipinos don't worry about shit like we do. I worry about her future. She doesn't, you know, I'm like, you know, oh, you want me just to give up worrying about you? Well, I can. I don't know what's going to happen to you when I die in a few years, but okay. Hello, you know, because you can't afford to live like we live on your own money. When you wake up, just choose to smile. Your day will be better for it. I agree with that. I think that's a hard one, though. But I'll say this. I think my dog helps with that. Meaning, every morning I get up, my dumb dog is there looking at me like, oh. So it makes you smile, right? The dog wants to eat. It wants to go take a shit. You know, I get up in the morning, I feed it, talk to it, you know, get it off to its day. So her and I have a little conversation while the wife is asleep. You know, I think for me, having a pet does that. Gives me a reason to roll my eyes and smile a little. I am financially free and relaxed and no liability. That's good. The richest people in the world are the people with no liability. Enough backup, no marriage, no child. That's sad. Well, no children. I used to save 80% of my salary and compound it to live life on my own terms. That's great. You're 34. So, I don't know. You're 34, you got money. Now what? Now what are you going to do? I mean, what's next? Seriously. What's your next step? I mean, what does it do? I'll tell you, I am one of these people that I'm happy being a loner. I don't mind. If Lorelai passed away or Bob, I would never get remarried. I'd be happy to move somewhere small and just live a quiet life with just me. I'm one of these people who truly can be very happy by myself. I don't know why. As long as I can go fishing and hang out, a little bit of that type of stuff, I'm okay with it. But what are you doing at 34 to enrich your life? I've done a lot. I've traveled the world. I've taught, had fun, got to do this, that, and a little bit of everything else. So my question for you is, great, you're at a great place, but now what? Remember not to bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah. I agree with that. And my hand's been bitten a few times. I got bite marks. You know, I really do. I've gotten bite marks before I got married, and I've gotten some since being married. But at 34 years of age, if you think you're financially set, why don't you just go, what are you doing with your life? You just sitting in a closet? Minimalism is good. I don't mind it. Depends upon the mood. Just like time, work sometimes, talk to people, live, read different philosophies. But actually, there is no inherent purpose of life. Well, then I would end it. If you, look, you know, maybe I'm being a little bit hard on you, but if you have no purpose, then why are you here? Why are you taking up my oxygen on my planet? If you're not going to experience the world, then why are you here? I think you're looking at things a little backwards. I think you're missing the opportunity that you have. You have the opportunity to experience, even if you don't believe there's a reason for life to exist, but you have the ability to experience life. Most people don't get to do that. You realize that, right? Most people don't get to experience other cultures. They don't get to travel. They don't get to meet unique people. They don't get to share their experiences, and they don't get to experience new ones. Most people don't get to do that. It's the minority that does that. So you're hung up on that life isn't worth being. There's no reason for it. So you're just going to sit in the basement and do nothing all your life but read philosophy books. Well, I think you've wasted, or you would waste, whether you like it or not, the life that was given to you. I think you're wasting away in Margaritaville, so to speak. Okay? I think you have more in you. All right, Tim. I think you have more in you to give to other people. Maybe you don't want to give to the other people, but you have more in you to learn and to experience. And I'll tell you this much. I've read a lot of books too. A lot of books. I'm telling you. Probably well over 1,000 books in my life. Books have nothing on one-on-one experiences. Books have nothing on experiencing things for the real thing, right? You can read about an autopsy, but until you go to one, you know nothing, right? You can read about a baseball game, but until you go to one, you don't know anything, right? You can read about how beautiful and sexy women are to have around you, but until you have that and go and do that, then you don't really know it. That's what I mean. I just try to understand how the world is working. Well, that's good. How does it work? Well, right, and you can spend, you're 34, you can spend your life wondering how the world is working, or you can go and experience the world. I would encourage you to go experience the world, not worry about the world. Because you can't do anything about the world. But you can experience the world that we live in. And it's a very fascinating world. I have not traveled the world, but I've been to all lower 48 states at least 3 times. See? And that's something most people haven't done. Scotty, I haven't done it. I think I'm up to 38, 36 or 38. So I haven't done that. I haven't done it. I've traveled a bunch of different countries around the world. Great. I've met a lot of great people, a lot of different experiences. But a lot of people haven't done that. Majority of people can't say that they've done that, Scotty. And that's what I mean. Everybody's experience is going to be different and unique, and that's what makes it worth doing, is the uniqueness of how that experience is when you do it. For instance, Scotty's been to all over 48 states, which is a pretty big deal. His experience would be way different than my experience if I did all 48 states, right? Because I experienced it and he experienced it. It's not the same experience. And we get hung up on this thought that everybody experiences the same thing because it's life. Then you're missing the entire ship, including the boat that's on the ship. You can, well, I'm trying to think of a saying somebody told me one time. Let me see if I can think about this. Too much analysis can lead to paralysis. So, my friend, Gemma, if you're doing too much analysis on the world, how it works, or life and how it works or the meaning of life, then that has put you in a stasis of paralysis where you're not experiencing and enjoying it or being miserable in it. Because in order to truly enjoy something, you got to know the negative side of it or there is no joy. Bookmark is very different from street mark. Boy, you got that right. People here in India try to scam foreigners because you're not aware of pricing of every service. Sure. Are you saying this like the skin tax? No. The skin tax doesn't happen as like in America like it does in other countries. Because everything's priced here. If you go to a Walmart store, you go to a grocery store, it's already pre-labeled how much it is. You don't ask how much this is and pay for it. You don't do that. So there's a big difference there. If you go to a mom and pop store that doesn't have any signs up, maybe, but usually everything's clearly marked because that's part of our laws here. That you can't discriminate against anybody and you can't price gouge. It's part of the usury laws in America. So it doesn't happen as much as you think. Now, if you're buying a brand new car and the car salesman knows that you have really good credit and you have some money, maybe they're not going to negotiate with you as much as you think because they're going to get every penny out of you that they can versus somebody who's maybe a little tighter in the budget and they go, well, I either get a sell and make $200 or I get no sell. But somebody who walks in with a lot of, good money, good solid credit and wants a car, maybe they go, well, I'm going to work this guy and get $400. If a U.S. person travels to India, they charge 4 to 5, right? Which your government should be ashamed of. They think the U.S. people are rich and earn in dollars, so $1 goes 95, rupees. I agree. I understand what you're saying. There's a lot of countries that do that. It's called in the Philippines a skin tax. If you're not the same color of skin, you get charged more money. Is it right? No. Is it totally wrong? No. And why it's not totally wrong is because I have the right to tell you, no, I'm not buying that mango for 400 rupees. No, I'm not going to do it. I'll give you 200, but no, I think it's wrong, and I think your people, your culture should be ashamed of that because obviously what that tells me is that your culture is not evolved enough to be honorable. And I would expect countries that promote their great religious faith to be honorable people in their everyday life. And it makes me sad to know that they're not. That's part of religion. Religion, is all about how it makes me feel good, not about me being honorable. So I agree, it's wrong, but I also have a choice not to buy the car or the mango, whatever it is. I think you guys should be ashamed of that. I think people in the Philippines should be ashamed of it. I think they're also cutting their nose off to spite their face. I know the fact that foreigners get charged a higher prices than native people do. They do. That's why that's why we teach everybody that goes to the Philippines to let Lorelei do all of the bartering. If we need to buy a fish, she buys it. I don't buy the damn fish. If I want something that's not marked with a price tag, Lorelei buys it. And I act like I have no desire in it. I don't want that. The hell would I do with that? You know what I mean? So, but I think it's sad that cultures do that. Because they get a bad reputation. And we know this about India. I'll tell you this from my standpoint. we Americans, I'm gonna generalize Americans, all right? Most Americans don't like people from India because they think they're all scammers. And your point has been made. So our first image about India is it's just a country full of scammers. Ken's in the house, stopping by to say hello, not feeling well. Well, I hope you get feeling better. I've been struggling this week myself, Ken. So, giving a like, thank you. We'll start from the beginning and let it play. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hello, Ken. Hope you're getting feeling better. And I think I would be ashamed if I was the government of India to have that world reputation that everybody thinks we're a bunch of scammers, right? To me, that would be shameful. It just would. But if people are stupid enough to fall for the scams, then that's on them. It's like, look, we talk about e-begging a lot on the internet. It's a big topic. There's a lot of girls that e-beg, and a bunch of idiot guys will give them money because they're hoping to get to see their boobs someday, right? Well, is it wrong? In a sense, sure. But if that guy is stupid enough to give that girl money in hopes of seeing her stupid ass boobs, well then who's the idiot? The guy's the idiot. Many people are greedy and they will never have enough. Boy, you got that right. That's what we talked about the other day. I mean, I don't think Elon Musk is greedy. I'm not saying that. But somebody like Elon Musk, I mean, he could never do anything with his money. His money's like fake money. He's a gigantic billionaire, but where's the money? You know what I mean? It's so, you know. I think greed is one of the things that comes back and bites you in the ass. I think when you use people, eventually you're going to get bit in the ass. Something's going to happen to you bad. I believe that. Karma's a bitch, so to speak. But if I was a country that had a horrible reputation about being scammers, I would try to change the narrative. I would. The Philippines has it, not horribly, but they have it. I have no problem with the truck driver or the small business in the outdoor markets here in the Philippines trying to make money when they see us foreigners coming. What I think is this, Tim and Scotty, I don't have a problem paying the inflated rate because to me it's still cheap, right? To me. But even though it's cheap to me, they're gouging me, which is the wrong thing to do. So I actually look at it going, I tell the story about when we're living there, the Grab driver would drop off the food and I don't know, we spend 200 pesos in food and I'd give the guy 100 pesos. And Lorelai's like, oh my God, that's too much money as a tip. And I'm like, it's only a couple bucks, right? But to intentionally deceive, I think is wrong. Do I think the mango is worth 50 pesos versus the 20 she would have charged my wife? Well, if I really want the mango, yeah, I'll buy the mango for 50 pesos. I don't buy anything. I have my driver get it for me. Yeah. Well, Lorelai did all of our shopping. I didn't buy anything. Because, there's no question. We did a little experiment one weekend when we were there, our neighbor and I. I went up to the little Sorry store and bought a Red Horse beer. I think I paid 160 pesos. He goes up to the exact same place 5 minutes later and gets it for like 60 pesos. If everyone sells stock in a single moment and takes out money as per the portfolio shows in their trading app, I do not think everyone will get the currency equivalent. No, they won't. And that's part of the problem is money is digital now. Where is the money? It's like one of those billionaires was talking the other day saying, yes, I could go out there and sell all of my Bitcoin, but who's going to buy it? Who's going to give me the cash? It's all electronic. It's all fake money. It's all funny money. He's like, I don't have any real money. I don't have $1 billion that I can go put my hands on. It's not here. But you're right. The system would shut down, and it's just like what we call a run on a bank. Back in the day, in the 20s, they had run on banks, meaning everybody went to the bank to take their cash out. And then they started only giving 50% on the dollar, 20% on the dollar. So all you could have is 20% of what's in your account, and you never recovered the money, or less. And sometimes nothing. It's wrong, but at the same time, I understand why they live on pesos and never know when they're going to see a foreigner again. Yeah, I get that too, Scotty. The heart, the first world heart goes out and says, look, my couple of dollars is not a big deal. Just not. Lorelai and I have had this conversation many of times in the Philippines. It's a couple bucks. Who gives a crap? I piss away more than that doing whatever the hell I'm going to do every day. So I get that part of it. I do. But then there's the other side of the coin that if you wouldn't do it to your neighbor, why would you do it to a stranger? So it's kind of a weird thing, right, Scotty? At least for me, it's kind of a weird, it's a weird thing. Now, the other big thing that I go with all this, because we all talked about this, is how and part of it's the stray dog syndrome. And I agree that the vendor's probably not going to see that many foreigners compared to like family members of our wives, right? They think once they get married to an American, the wallet is open, manna has fallen from the heavens, and they are all rich because somebody married an American in the family. That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. Because the answer to the question is, what would that family do if the sister never married an American or an Australian or a German? If they never married from another country, what would they do? And I tell people every day, they would figure it out. Just because I'm in the picture doesn't mean I got to solve their problem. What would they have done if I didn't exist? They will figure it out. Concept of money is like someone should take the burden. Basically, no one makes money. Everyone just transfers. I agree with that. That's all we do is transfer money around. Trust me. It gets into my account and goes out of my account. Money is made by the government. That's correct. It is. And even that idiot Fed chairman we have in America said the other day, yeah, we're just printing money. We just keep printing it, until Trump got elected. Just like the YouTube. Why do a lot of Filipinos do their channels geared towards foreigners? And I agree, because they know their target audience, right? Their target audience are those men that might want to see their boobies. So you're right. And that's smart business. Is it smart business to overcharge me for a mango that you would charge not, I don't know if that's smart business. But it's smart business to market your boobies to the idiot men that are going to want to watch your boobies at a certain time, right? Yes, and the ads pay more. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Boobies from the Vikings says, But we all know that none of us make any real money off the damn ads, right? I don't care. Even your biggest channels don't make a lot of money off the ads. The bigger you are, the more views you get, the better your earnings are. Trust me. But the donations are where you really come in. The super chats, the PayPal, the buy me a cup of coffee, the Cash App. Why do you think everybody has their own little, I don't know what you call it, QR code thing now that they put on everything so you can just scan it and send the money directly? Craig's in the house. No government in America is private corporation that makes the money. Not government. Yeah, it is a private. You're right. Sorry. Craig, you're right. The Fed is a private organization, which is crazy. And it makes the money for, and I'm one of these believers that the Fed needs to go away. It's a big root of the financial problem in America. You're right, Craig. It's its own entity, not ran by the government, which is crazy. Boobies woke up the Viking. It did, and Craig. Channel owner, that's me. Do you feel modern financial system can be and will collapse? And now, I don't think so. I know a lot of people think that and believe that. I do not believe that anybody will collapse anywhere at any time. There's too much money and power to lose if your economy collapses and fails. So it's not going to happen. If it starts to, it's going to be propped up by something else. Jamie's in the house. Hello, Miss Avocado. Good to see you. Or they give us women sob stories to give them money to support their kids. I say, well, I got 2 kids too. That's right. And remember, everybody, we are doing Jamie's baby shower, Miss Avocado's baby shower, in a couple of weeks. April the 3rd at 7 p.m. Oh, I got that right, Jamie. And we're going to be guessing the baby's weight. So we're going to be collecting a little money for Jamie. And I'm going to give away a prize. Everybody say hello to Jamie. Just finished watching some Judge Judy, did you? Wow. Hello, Jamie. Hey, Tim and the Viking. Hello. Scotty B. Hey, Jamie, Christian, Scotty, Tim, and all. I agree. I wish I could come up with a sad story so people would give me money. I just can't seem to come up with one. I try to be honest and say, please give me $5 million so I can buy a beach house, but that didn't work. You know? I don't, I can't promise to marry a bunch of guys, just to get money, So, I mean, we all could use more money. Trust me, I'm trying to buy a new mobility scooter right now. I am. I'm working on it. I'm studying hard, trying to figure out how to buy a mobility scooter. And you're talking between, $2,000 to $5,000. So we all have financial needs and worries. Some greater than others, some more real than others. But I don't think people, I don't know. Hello, Craig. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Thank you all for the thumbs up if you didn't do that. How's the problem of unemployment in the U.S. or the Philippines? Is it serious or just like any overpopulated? No, I don't know about the Philippines, to be honest. Maybe some of the other guys, Scotty and Craig and everybody, can talk about the Philippines unemployment. In America, look, if you want a job, you can go get a job tomorrow. The only problem is you may not want the job that you can get. So a lot of people bitch and moan, no, it only pays $12 an hour. Well, it's $12 more an hour than you were making before sitting on your ass. I'm one of these people that believe that your job, if you don't have a job, is to find a job. You take a job, no matter what you do, go work at McDonald's, Burger King, wherever you need to work. You start earning money, you figure out how to get a better paying job, move out of that to a different industry, but sitting there waiting and dreaming, woo, like manna from heaven. $100,000 an hour a job is going to come and find me and they're going to hire me, and get me off of my couch. Well, it doesn't happen. But in America, if you want a job, you can get a job tomorrow. You don't even have to pass a drug test anymore. You can be a drug addict here and get a job. Greg says, help him out, waiting for the condo. That's right, Tim. I'm sorry, Craig, that's right. Cam, they just did a study on Gen Z, who's the fastest one getting fired. Yes, they are. I saw that. Multiple studies show that they call in more and more lazy. Not all of them, but a good portion. the young people, the Gen Zs, the young people in America. And I saw the one video, Jamie, I know what you're talking about, but I saw a video today of some young 18-year-old girl getting fired from Church's Chicken. And the police had to come and arrest her and take her out because she didn't want to clean the table. They had no customers, nothing to do. The boss said, hey, go over there and clean. And she threw a fit and said, no! What if I'm Coca-Cola-holic? Well, that fits too. That's okie dokie. I mean, look, the only thing they test for anymore is opiates. So marijuana's not on there. Walmart quit testing for that. They just gave up. So everybody's testing positive for marijuana. If we exclude them, we can't hire anybody. So they gave up. It amazes me that since I've been here, how many Filipinos don't know we have homeless people. I know. That is shocking, right, Tim, that people don't. I agree that most foreign countries, developing nations, whatever you want to call them, third world countries, believe that our streets are made of gold and everybody lives in houses like a 90210 or whatever that was. Yeah, I live in a basement garage somewhere. Yeah. Jamie says, I saw a guy quit because he had to work 8 hours. I know. And then there's the other one of the black girl who got really mad or got fired because she kept clocking in late. And the HR department was like, well, on this day you clocked in 13 minutes late. She's like, well, just 13 minutes. Well, on this day it was 23 minutes. On this day it was 18 minutes. On this day it was, she was offended. How dare you not allow me just to clock in whenever the hell I want to clock in? Been doing 12-hour shifts for 37 years, Jamie. Yes. I was truly blessed in my career. I didn't have to punch a clock. But I put a lot of hours in. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, anytime I got a chance to work and make money, I did it. I worked from home. I taught classes from home. I went to the office. You name it, did private consulting. So I, too, are one of the ones that would put a lot of time into work to make money. But I like it. They don't understand why they're expected to show up for work. What? They don't understand why they're not making $100,000 a year. Like, what? Are you on drugs? Heck, when I was pregnant with Bruce, I worked 40 hours a week, and I'm only 2 18-wheelers on top of that. Yeah, you were at Hobby Lobby, if I remember right. Sir, but working at a low pay is similar, oh yeah, to exportation. Okay, well then don't work. Considering the body is almost a machine, if the employees pays less than the cost of the machine, it will suffer. Well, you don't even want to be alive, so who cares if your body suffers? If you don't believe in life or think life is worth living, then who cares how long the body holds up? But if you need money, besides stealing it or hustling people, wouldn't you want to earn it? I'm a believer that people that make money the honest way, now look, if I could be a corrupt politician, I probably would, don't get me wrong, but the people like Craig, who works hard, Jamie, who works hard for their dollars, even though it's low dollars, they feel better at the end of the day knowing that they didn't rob anybody, right? So it builds your internal self-worth to earn a living. It does. Whether it's a shitty living or not, it's still, you're doing it. But if you need money, look, there's times that I've been homeless and I needed money. And by God, I was shocked when I applied for jobs and I was overqualified. You know, I was happy to shovel chicken shit out of chicken houses. Couldn't get hired. I was too educated. No, it's not what we're looking for. I had people flatly tell me, so you're overeducated for the job. Yeah, but I need the damn money, okay? If you need money, you do whatever it takes to make money. Tim says, there is always work to be done. just that people don't want to clean up barns and pick up trash. I agree. I agree. I was shocked. I'll tell you a little story. If no one cares in this world other than the parents, so anti-naturalism seems to best. Okay, so we're not going to have kids. We've already established that. The concept of demand and supply is similar to the concept of blackmailing. It is, but you don't have to do it. And you don't have to pay up when you get blackmailed. So you do have a free choice, and the choice is yours. That's the great thing about the human race. The choice is yours. It's up to you, do it or don't. Don't complain. Cannot have it both ways, I agree. Viking, Gamma 101, you think that a toilet cleaner should get as much money as a lumber worker? Or those who walks on a big electric wire 50 meters over the ground minus 30 degrees? Right. I agree with this. And this is part of the problem we have now, Viking, is people think they deserve big money over people that take a bigger risk or has a skill set. So the girl at Chick-fil-A making, I don't know what they pay, 16 bucks an hour. She's pissed off because she should be making $30 or $40 an hour because some dental assistant who has an education is making that. So the girl who's cleaning teeth for a living with a degree or certificate, whatever that is for a dental hygienist, making 40 bucks an hour, this girl's pissed off because, well, I should be making $40 an hour making chicken sandwiches. No, I agree with you. No. The more you contribute, the more you get paid. And I figured that out and found that out. I'll tell you a little secret. Not a secret, but a story. Many thousands of years ago when I was young in my career at the college, I wasn't dating anybody, didn't have anything going on. I didn't do my consulting yet. This is way back. And I could use money. And I went and worked for Barnes and Noble, the bookstore, Christmas break. So I had about a 3-week Christmas break. They needed temporary help. I went to go work for them. They paid, I don't know what it was, didn't really matter, wasn't that much, but it helped. And I was shocked that all these full-time employees were bitching and whining about who was going to sweep the fucking floor. Who was going to mop the little kitchen? They had a little coffee place. Who was going to mop that? Who was going to put the chair over there? And I'm just like, and I told them all, I said, you people are just freaking idiots. All it is a little bit of work. And so I wind up doing a lot of that because I'm just like, you people, I'll do it, Then I don't got to put up with your idiots. I'll go mop that little kitchen area and sweep it and put the chairs away. I don't mind. You're going to pay me no matter what I do, so I might as well just do it. Just crazy, though. They would fight. These people would fight. And, by God, no, I worked over in this department today. I don't do that. I'm like, man, you people are idiots. Or you have your own business, then no boss, but replace the stress. Oh, yeah. A lot more stress, right? My guys, my boss has a honey-do list waiting for me. All right, Scotty, tell her we said hello. We appreciate you, Scotty. Everybody say, Scotty, you better listen to the honey. You got to do the honey. Either put up more money or listen to the honey. Go do the honey to-do list. But I did. I thought I was just shocked and disappointed. I was really disappointed in those people. And I remember the general manager of the store asked me when my time was up, because I only agreed to work 3-4 weeks. And I worked a few weeks into January when I was back to the college. And they wanted me to stay on, and I just said no. I said, one, I have a full-time job, and two, your people here are idiots. I said, they fight over who's going to mop and clean a damn floor, that they all walk on, that they all use to go get their free cup of coffee. Honey reward, that's right. Never listen to the honey unless she's got the money. No, I try not to listen to my honey, let me tell you. My honey's always coming up. My honey is always pointing the finger at something that I should do. I'm like, you know where it is. I would agree, Tim. Every job should be rewarded for the risk involved and the skill set that it takes. Now, one thing I used to do, because I had no control over the pay of my international workers or my people that worked for me in the labs, I had no control over their money. The state government said, this is what these students get, this is what they get. But what I could do was figure out their passion, if they had any, and their strengths and weaknesses. And as a good manager, I would figure out what they enjoyed doing and what they were good at. Then I'd let them do that. And I would have the one who enjoyed this go do that. So that way they had more enjoyment, even though the pay sucked, they had a little bit of enjoyment in the task that they were doing. If they liked plants, I'd put them over in the botany section. If they thought microbiology was really cool, well, we'd sign them over to the microbiology, department. Real simple, common sense. And then, of course, I always made sure that they laughed, giggled, and had a good time because their pay sucked and they were students. The other big thing I thought was important was recognizing them for their good work. Because these are students from all ages, 60 and under, from different parts of the world, America including. So, I would also, one of my big deals was, since they were college students, they were there to get a job. To get a degree or a certificate so they could get a better job in life. So part of my big mission was, okay, I recognize this. So I know you need money. That's why you're working. If you didn't need the money, you wouldn't be working. But look, if we absolutely have nothing to do, I'm not sending you home. I have you bring your homework, and I'll have you go find a quiet place so that you can study and do your homework on the clock. As long as you wear your lab coat and you're ready to go back to work, if I need something done, let's go find you a pigeonhole. And I would teach them all, here, this is what, check in with me. If there's nothing going on, go hide. Tell me where you're at. Wear your coat. If I need you, I'll come find you. Didn't happen a lot, but it happened some. And I think they appreciated that. Now, Tim says every job should be rewarded for the risk involved. I am a husband to Lorelei. My risk is through the roof. My stress is through the roof. Yeah, I need to be that $5 million. Forget her house. I need the $5 million house for myself. Jamie says, I hate it when I hear young people in our area say they can't find a job. Yeah, right. They go, I can't find. Yeah, you can. I can get you a job tomorrow. I got a job secured after the baby is born, and it's cleaning office buildings from 5 to 9 p.m. Yeah, see, if you want a job, you can find a job in America. Viking of Norway, I feel living standard of every person should improve, as I am kind of an emotional person. I cannot see weak, skinny people here in India working in a factory and poverty. Okay, well then what are they going to do? Just sit, be weak and skinny? Are they not going to work at all? Are you going to give them your money? You said you had a lot of money. Are you going to give the weak, skinny people that can't work in a factory your money? Yeah, I don't know really what you mean by that one. A friend of mine works during high electrical line work. Yes, he works hanging from a house. Woo-wee. And that old boy should be getting paid some money. But they'll be able to pay my child support, and anything left over goes towards my kids. There you go. Yes. Don't look down. Yes. Well, that is good, Jamie. It covers, for the other kid, your oldest one. So that's good. And a little money on the table. That's excellent. I think that's a good plan and a good way to look at it. Every little bit helps. You know, I keep trying to tell my wife, what you don't spend today, you have for tomorrow. And tomorrow you're going to need it. But everybody needs to work. I don't like, I think the government assistance programs are fantastic. I think they're highly abused, and I think they're being mismanaged. But I think they're good in their origins. I know a few people that have high steel workers building skyscrapers. Yeah. You know, I knew some of those too. When I was doing the OSHA construction, I knew some workers, you know, steel workers, crane operators, you know, people that did the high risk, I taught, you know, electrical safety, so high voltage electrical workers. Some of those guys that worked in the high voltage industry, I actually got some videos of people being electrocuted in that industry, safety videos. Well, they should make more money. I agree. But I think everybody has to work if you want money. I mean, I don't work. I'm a deadbeat. The world is not fair. Agreed. And it would never be fair. Agreed. If you are poor, then there's always something to make money on. Agreed. But they need to start from somewhere if they want to get to higher up. Higher pay, yeah. You got to start somewhere or you're going to go nowhere, right? And remember, this goes back to positive equals positive, negative equals negative. If you do nothing, that means that's a negative because nothing's a negative word. So I'm doing nothing, so nothing's going to happen. Nothing good's going to happen. Negative's going to happen. Not going to eat. Not going to feed my children. Not going to have a place to live. Positive is, look, I'm going to go pick up aluminum cans and scrap metal, whatever I got to do. I see that there's an ad for 1 day's work of me plucking chickens on a farm. I'll go do it because I need a day's wage. But those are positive actions. So we as individuals have to make a decision. Are we going positive or are we going negative? And just because you're from a poor country doesn't mean that you got to accept a negative way. You can always find it. It was what I was saying earlier about if my wife, you know, never married me, her family would still figure out how to survive in the Philippines without me. They would have. You have to figure out how to survive in your own environment, no matter where you're from, what country you're from, what state you're from, what your education is. You have to figure out how to survive in it. We can't help you survive. You have to do it. You have to drive the bus. Rustle up some bottles, buy a bubblegum pack, sell it from, yeah. And just keep rolling it. Buy 2 bubblegum, yeah. I agree, flip bubblegums. I think my wife used to tell me that when she was living in the Philippines, not only with her regular job, she would buy loads and upsell them because she would have the money from her job. She'd go out and buy X amount of loads or something, and then the other girls in her dormitory type workplace didn't want to go get it, so she would sell it to them for a profit because they were too lazy to go up and go get a load. OnlyFans, I know. I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed, Craig, in my OnlyFans turnout. I think I'm showing a whole lot of skin for not a whole lot of money on OnlyFans. There you go. Now, it's interesting that Viking knows the details. Craig, you know, by the way, to do OnlyFans, you got to have an ID. a phone and or a laptop. I wonder how Viking knows so much about OnlyFans. So yes. But, my feet pictures aren't flying out the window. My topless photos aren't flying out the windows. Well, Craig, it's not a joke. I mean, I don't have a problem with OnlyFans. I mean, I think guys that drool over these women on the, that's stupid. You're going to give your life's fortune away to a girl that's not going to give you the time of the day in the real life. I think that's pathetic from the men's standpoint or the women's standpoint, whichever it may be. But I don't have a problem with anybody doing anything to make money. I just don't. Hat photos? Maybe. I did some shirt photos the other day. I figured since the girls could go on YouTube with a towel in front of them and say, woohoo, guess my outfit. I could do that. So I was naked under a blanket and said, come look at my new outfits. I'm not getting very many views on that, by the way. Let me see. A computer operator. That one didn't come through, but I can answer it now. How much does what kind of computer operator? What do you mean? In America, we have a lot of they're categorized, like data entry versus an IT specialist versus a cybersecurity expert. They can make a lot of money, $100,000, $200,000 a year. I know people in that field, they make very, very good money. A data analyst makes about $40,000 to $60,000 a year. An IT specialist, depending on their skill set, can make above that. Yeah, the skills and the education. And the computer system. You're right. I mean, it just depends. At the college, we had IT professionals making $20 an hour. And all they would do, their job was do nothing but fix our computers when we couldn't figure out what the hell was going on with our computer. They'd come down and do this and do that or take it away. Somebody else would fix it and bring us another one. They didn't make very much money who did that. They did real basic stuff. But then we had people that were highly skilled in code and all these other things that made a lot of big money. Yeah, data entry, it's not you can do it online. I don't know if you knew this or not, but there's a lot of data entry type jobs online. But you can make, pushing 30 to 40 grand depending on if you're good at it and what company it is. So that's American dollars. $300 to $500 per hour. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, you can make good money if you know what you're doing skills-wise. But if all you're doing is data entry, entering things in and, it's the lowest level and you could probably make, I'm thinking about where my wife works. She works for a Fortune 500 company. I think those people probably make, maybe $30,000 a year. IT developing, yes. So $30,000 would be what I would say you can make in America. But now, let me explain something to you. And thank you all for the thumbs up. $30,000 in America is nothing. 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 You're poor if you make $30,000 in America. All right? I'm just saying. Sounds like a lot of money. It's not. Because one, you're going to lose 25, 30% of it like that. Two, you got to pay where you live and get to your job. All of the above. No. 30 grand in America, 40 grand is not great pay. That's why so many people have roommates and they live together and all of this. And some people work two jobs. I know a lot of people that go to work at a company, they come home and they work online for 2 or 3 hours. Right, but right, I understand that. 30,000 here can be used approximately 8 to 10 years. I understand that. But you're not going to make American dollars living in India, right? Now, if you are an IT specialist, look, I know they outsource at call centers in India, which we hate, no offense, but we hate getting the call centers from India. We're not super gigantic fans of the ones in the Philippines, but the ones in the Philippines are better than the ones in India. But you can go work for a call center. I don't know what they pay you in the Indian wage, but you're not going to get the American dollar. You're not going to do it. Your company is going to take that. Do you know any slim Indian girls over 18? I do. Indian women are beautiful. Christian, I totally agree. They can be ugly, like American women, but Indian women can be hot, without question. So, you sure they got to be over 18 for you? But just keep that in mind. You got to, I don't know what minimum wage is, I don't know. Viking, he says, yes, I have lots of friends. Hot, sexy, young, single, female friends. They are. Craig, I agree. Call centers are fronts for the scamming industry in India. I agree. And we all think that and see that. And we don't like them in America. I hate to pick on India, which I don't dislike India, but in America, we don't like the call centers. We don't like the scammers. We are national thought. When somebody says India, we think, oh, shit. We don't go, oh, wow, they got beautiful landscaping. Or, wow, they are the friendliest people in the world. First thing we think is, oh, shit, a bunch of scammers. And that's the honest truth. When we think of the Philippines all right off the bat, we think of the women and the food. And then we think of the scammers. So just be aware of that. But as an Indian citizen, can you not travel out of the country to go to the places? You've saved a lot of money, you said. So surely you can make your way to another world and try to do better by yourself. In the Philippines, one of my good friends in the Philippines from Pakistan and lives in the Philippines full time and has a better life in the Philippines than he did in India, or in Pakistan. But yeah, we don't like those. We don't like them. They do. There is a lot of Indian IT people that work in top positions. Because Walmart gets cheap labor that way. It's not because you guys are overly skilled. I'm not saying you're not skilled. What I'm saying is Walmart gets you cheaper. They get you cheaper. So me as an American, at the same level, they'd have to pay me $100,000 a year. They could pay you $50,000 a year and you'd be shit-faced happy to get it. I would not. That's why there's so many people in the IT industry in America. But understand this, with the new immigration rules coming in about companies having to have the $100,000 for certain jobs, Walmart itself, because, I live in the Walmart home office. I don't know if you guys know this, but Walmart has a great big home office, and Lorelai and I live inside of the home office. So Walmart has been sending, when their visas expire, Indian people home. And they're now, due to Donald Trump and his new philosophy, they're now hiring Americans and they have to let the Indian people go. And they're going back home. It's in the news here. We talk about it regularly in the community, that when their contracts are up, they're not being renewed. Because Trump has said, we want more Americans doing American jobs. So no longer is it acceptable. You're going to have to figure out how to pay these people decent. So just be aware of that. But I get there's a lot of Indian IT people, but we still think, we don't think highly of them. If you're, look, I'll tell you this, and this is not to be mean and cruel, but if I work for a company and I got 3 different IT engineers, maybe one's from India, one's from Germany, one's from America, who do you think I'm going to think the least of? The Indian, then the German, then America, of course. Now, if I have one from Japan, I'm going to be thinking highly of him, right? But I'm not going to think highly. I don't care what position you have in a company of you from India, just not. I might like you as a friend and enjoy your company, and I have as teachers. I've taught with people from Pakistan and India, super nice people, without question, no problem. But in that type of an environment, who do you think I would go to? Who do you think I would innately trust? Since you come from a country where we feel like you're scammers, I wouldn't innately trust you. I would trust somebody else. That's my point. Yeah, India's on my bucket list. Friends without children. Yes, friends without children. India's on my list too. I'd love to visit India, without question. But knowing that we're going to get scammed, I probably won't. You know, Kama has told us earlier that we're all going to get scammed when we come to India. And like, it's just the way it's going to happen. You know, he gave us the 411. What you have to do, you're asking, can you help me find an ordinary work from home for my brother for any U.S. employer? I can't, no. But here's my advice, and I've given this a lot. Because no, I don't want your commission. That's not how it works. That's dishonest. But what I can tell you is this. If you want to work for a U.S.-based company, you need to go find agencies. I can't get you a job at a U.S.-based company. You don't have a visa to work here, right? You don't, even the paperwork to be outsourced, you have to go through, if you're in India and you want to work for a US-based company without coming here, so you're going to be in India, you have to work for a company in India that is subcontracted to the company in America. They're not going to hire you directly. You're going to have to go through an agency or another company. There's no way you can do one-on-one. It just doesn't happen. Viking sounds like a good idea. Yes. Are most Indian girls submissive or boss babes? Like in US and Europe? That's a good question. What he wants to know, if the women can be submissive and just be good, happy wives, or are they going to be mean, ornery bitches like in America? Out and about with M&D, can you get me into retirement? Yes. All you have to do is jump out in front of my car when I'm driving. I'll run you over, and you'll become disabled, and there you go. You're now retired. But that's what you have to do to work for a company in America. You got to go through an agency and or work for a company that has a contract with the company. Just the way it works. Tell my wife it's okay. I'll tell her. Put her on. I'll tell her. I'll straighten her out. I'm the wife straightener outer person. Well, you're getting close. How many more years you got to go roughly? Don't tell me your age, but how many more years you got? You know, what's weird is I still wouldn't be retired. I mean, retirement sucks. You only got 2 more years to go, then what are you bitching about? Come on, man. 2 more years. Hello? Man. Come on. Before you know it, it'll be 18 months. And then it'll be 12 months. And then it'll be like, oh crap, my retirement's coming up. What do I do now? You retired out of the military in 2011. Nice, nice. I have a family member that did that. He retired as a lieutenant colonel after 30 years in the Army. He went in young, got his education, and when he retired, he was a lieutenant colonel. Big monthly check at 30 years. And then he went and worked for another company, making big money, and got another big retirement. So, suppose some person of USA wants a computer assistant and be willing to pay via PayPal, okay, or on a freelancing basis, even occasionally. Work will be sufficient. If you could help me, I would thank you in advance. All right. If I ever run across somebody, I would be happy to point them in that direction. Sure. What I'm going to tell you is most people would go, Americans are really big about, and I'm just being honest with you, we like to touch and feel things. We like to know who we're dealing with. We like to have the confidence of who we're dealing with. And the first time you say, well, I'm from India, that's a problem. So we're very big independently. I don't know anybody, because look, here's what I'll tell you. And I feel for you, and I know what you're saying. And if I knew somebody, I'd help you out. But right now, today, if I need computer help, I have, I don't know, 8 to 10 people right here that I can just say, hey, my computer's doing this. What do you think? I don't know. Let me come over and fix it. And they'll just come over and fix it. You know, give them a beer, sit down and bullshit with them. They'll just come fix my computer because they like it so much. It's what they do for a living, but it's also, they're excited about it. So they like to do it. So I know personally 8 to 10 people I could just randomly call and say, computer's doing that old weird blue screen. You know, all right, well, let me see if I can help you figure it out. And everybody knows that way. Everybody's that way in America. Americans love their computers, is what I'm saying. So it's going to be a tough sell to do that. Here's what I would do. If your brother or you are looking for online work, why don't you learn how to teach English as a second language? Or any language as a second language. And I'll give you an example. Hello, Missy's channel. Good to see you. How are you? Everybody say hello to Missy's channel. Thank you for the thumbs up. And what I'm going to tell you is this. For instance, in America, I can get a little certification piece of paper that says I'm qualified to teach English as a second language. I can go and then work online and teaching Asian students English as a second language and make good money. Make good money. Hi, yet at Missy's channel. So maybe you got to look at it that way. What can you offer? Maybe you can teach some IT stuff online. Everybody say hello to Missy's channel for me. Sir, would you know I'm against cheating, human life suffering. So I will not, yeah, but it's not about what I believe. It's not what about I believe. If possible, please convince, all right, if I know anybody, I'll let you know. I really would. This is my ID card and all that stuff before work. I get it. I understand. And if I truly knew somebody, I would be happy. If somebody ever, you'd be the first one on the list. I promise you. You know? Missy says, thank you for saying hello to her. Did you guys all say hello to Missy's channel? The other problem you have in America is we have what they call the Geek Squad at Best Buy. It's an electronics store. And a lot of times you can pay a small membership fee, and if you have problems, they'll come out and fix your computer for free. You know, you pay like $130 or $112 a year, $10 a month. They'll come and fix your TV, your sound system, your computer, your printers, you know. Oh, Boss May, sorry. Boss babes mean women who think they're in charge of the relationship. They want to boss the guy around. Yeah, thank you. Your prayers appreciated. As I got bit back by, oh, you got bit by a tick and sick on antibiotics, recovering from carpal tunnel. I've had that. You got a lot going on. I've had carpal tunnel surgery too. See? I had it done on both hands. It was one of the coolest surgeries I've ever had. You actually, in America, you stay awake for it, and you can actually watch in the mirror them cut the tendon. It was really cool. I remember that. I liked it. That was a cool surgery. Retirement is not as easy, except in the mind. I agree. Can cause depressions and other brain disorder. Amen to that. You know, not only did my coma screw with my brain and cause me to have squishy brain, but being retired when I don't want to be retired is not pleasant. Oh, wow, they covered your head? Oh, no, I got to watch in the mirror. I got to lay there and look in the mirror and watch them do it. Wow. How is my English? Do you feel any problems? And no, I think your writing skills are fine. So, you know, your writing skills are fine. I think if you truly want to do something, then you need to get out there and do it. I think your writing skills are fine. I don't know about your spoken language, but writing is good. The VAs where you had it done, okay. So they didn't allow it, nice. Oh gosh, I don't know, man. I had mine done 25 years ago. So, if I remember right, maybe a couple of weeks. Just a couple of weeks. But it's good once it's done. It really did help. So, if you have an MBA in finance, why didn't you try to go teach at one of the universities in India? You know, you can become a part-time teacher and then become a full-time teacher. Yeah, mine wasn't more than a week or two. I remember the bandage just falling off pretty soon, all of that. But I can still kind of feel mine if I do this. I get a little bit of a nerve. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Hello, Mrs. Channel. Good to see you, Tim. But it was worth having the surgery done. I can tell you that much. Very happy that we had it done. Very happy. Does anybody else have any great advice for our friend from India that could help them with employment around the world? You know, maybe you can go to the Philippines and be a college professor, or to another country. What about going to one of the Asian countries working in the IT department for them? One thing I'll tell you guys that live in a different country, don't get fixated on America. If you truly want a better life, it's not just about America. America is not the answer. It could be one of the many, many, many answers, but it's not the answer. Yes, I'm very aware of that as a college professor. I get it, yeah. Marry a rich widow woman. There you go. That's Craig's advice. Is look, just find some old rich Indian lady and marry her whether you like it or not. Chef is in the house. How are you? Good to see you. How are you? Thank you for the thumbs up. They barely knew the languages but got good grades, quick learners. I agree. We had a lot of international students. We had a lot of them. So, we appreciate you. Good evening. Good evening. You're doing well. Thank you. Good. I'm glad you're here. What have you been up to? Anything exciting? I've been up to nothing. I'm a deadbeat. I have no purpose in life. I'm a deadbeat. Nice. Your son just graduated from boot camp at Fort Sill in Oklahoma. Fort Sill is Army, correct? Am I right? Getting older is not fun. It hurts older people to ask for assistance and do it. Yes. I hate it. I hate, I hate it, Tim. I don't like the fact that, I don't like the fact that I got to use a mobility scooter. I don't like the fact that I need to buy a new one. I don't like any of it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Just got back home from Fort Sill. Yes, the Army. Absolutely. Good. 100% Tim says, yes, we don't like it. I don't like it. It pisses me off. I always think somebody else needs it more than me. And look, I know it makes life easier for my wife when I use a mobility scooter, because then again, I'm not bitching and complaining and as much as in pain the next day. But we went to the Tulip Festival this weekend, right? And I took the scooter and it was a nightmare. Using that scooter out in that field beat the living dog shit out of me. But I don't like it. I don't like using it. I don't like getting help. I would still rather be able to, I don't like the fact that I got to pay people to do things around my house that I normally would be able to do. You know what I mean? I can no longer do these things that any normal guy I was able to do, but I can't do them anymore. I tried to, I run out of air. The heart starts to go. That's right. Thank you for your son's service. Yeah, basic camp. Wow. Boot camp. Boss babies like to argue and working in the jobs that makes them dominant. Yes. Want to be the boss in relationships. I think they deserve a man that makes more than 100. Wow. Are you on drugs? So he doesn't want a woman like that. He doesn't want a boss. He wants a wife that's nice, pleasant to be around. And $100,000 a year, you gotta be on drugs. My views, your world. What's up? How are you, my friend? Good to see you. AJ's in the house. You guys all say hello to him. Thank you for coming in. I believe in happy king, happy kingdom. Yes, me too, Viking. I do not believe in happy wife, happy life. I agree. I don't believe if the only way that I can be happy is to make my wife happy, then I have the wrong wife. I shouldn't have to kill myself to make her happy just so I'm happy. I seen a guy last night who looked just like you with a hat and everything. He had a young Filipino with him dancing the night away. Woohoo! Maybe it was my twin. I have 8 or 9 twins. Did you know that? Did you go up to him and say, hey, I know you. Why are you in the Philippines versus back in the States? How'd you get here so fast? Was she at least good looking? Now, if he was dancing with an ugly chick, then he's not my twin. No. $100,000 a year. That's big money in America. Just saying. Just saying. And if let me try to say it kind of like this. And I see this a lot on the internet. There's a lot of idiot women out there on the internet that think that for their husband to be their husband has to make 100,000, 200,000 a year. But the question is, what do they bring to the table? Because I'm telling you, every female has the same thing between their legs, and it's not worth $100,000. I almost went to him and said, hey, showed him you should have. I need every subscriber I can get, man. You blew it. You blew it. He could have been a subscriber. He could have bought me my $5 million beach house. Man, I'm heartbroken. I'll never forget you. I'll never forget it. Who wants? No, Viking is talking about that. Viking is single still. He's still hunting for the most beautiful woman in the world who doesn't want to dominate him, who doesn't want to just take his wallet, which we all want. We're all looking for the most beautiful woman in the world who doesn't care about our wallet. I showed your channel to my girl, though. Outstanding. That's good. At least you did that, you know. I'll put you back on the top 10 list after that. I was demoting you. I was putting you down there in the bottom 30 list. But I'll put you back up in the top 10 list. That's good. And she can show her friends. One of these days, I'll get a real channel. Yes. Well, she would live a little bit better life, basic life. I know. Yeah. Well, even a good life in India, I'm not saying a rich life, but a good life, she would probably still have, it's kind of like the Philippines. We all talk about this. But yes, I know women who have an okay life, a decent life in the Philippines. When they get married in America, most times they're upgrading, right? So it's kind of the same thing. The problem is a lot of women forget that they got an upgrade when they came here or came to Germany, Australia, wherever they went. How quickly do they forget the dirt floor they were living on? The shit they had to go through to live every day versus living in a first world country. They forget that easily. It's called westernization. And I'm actually working on a video where I'm talking about that issue with foreign women marrying, men like us. Takes about 8 years? Yes. Craig, 8 years is about right. I've been married at 11, started about 8 years. Yeah. Yep, I agree with you. And now nothing's good enough. Yeah, a pair of clippers somewhere. And then the competition rolls in. They all start wanting to compete with each other. They want to be big Filipina on the, in the community. You're from where, Viking? $1,000 a month gives you a decent life. You can ship to India also if you have significant net worth as per India economy. Yeah, you can go live in India. You saying yeah? Viking is Norway, as in Viking of Norway. But the question is there anybody here that would want to go live in India? No offense, I'm just saying. Even if the women are beautiful and it's cheap cost of living, would you want to live in India? Do you get that vibe that this would be a good place to live? I don't know what people think of India from that standpoint. And Viking in Norway has more than double that amount that you're talking about. So, and he lives comfortably there, or in the Philippines or Thailand. So, and that's kind of what I mean. You know, I've never heard anybody, and maybe Craig has, or somebody out there, who wanted to go live in India versus Thailand, Malaysia, the Philippines, Japan. I don't know. Do you guys ever hear if anybody's wanting to go live there? And that's not a question to be mean. It's a serious question. Because I've never heard anybody wanting to go to Pakistan either, or Sudan to live, or now I've heard people wanting to go to Dubai to live, places like that, like Dubai, but Greece, I've heard people wanting to live there, Italy, you know, I don't know. But I would like to visit it without question. No, nothing seems like too many people. Well, Craig, and I'm not trying to be mean and pick on India, but I think of India as I think of New York City and New Orleans in America. I see India, the image I have of India is polluted, unhygienic, dirty, chaotic, and too many people. That's the image I get when I think of India. Same thing I think of when I think of New York City. Is another place I wouldn't want to live or even go to. You're interested in shifting to India, you need my help, I can help too. I too have the safest and cleanest area of high standards of people. Nice, good. So Viking, you know somebody that can help you out there. And my impression of India could be totally wrong. Could be totally wrong. But that's what I think of first, is the pictures of the cities where it's nothing like Bangladesh, where it's just polluted and crazy and chaotic, which is not a place I would want to live, ever. Hey, Craig, we looked at some cruises going out of your country today. So I've been looking at cruises in Australia. The only problem is the damn flight is too long. I don't think I want to sit on a plane that long. But we'll see. We will see. There you go. All right, let's see. It's 7:40 here. I think I'm going to wind this live stream down. Before we go, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Give us something so YouTube likes us. Do a little thumbs up if you haven't done that. But let's wind this down. My phone's about to die. It's almost 8 o'clock here. I need to feed my dog Lily and feed myself, and then be lazy bum the rest of the night. My views your world, AJ, we appreciate you, as always. You know, but you should have shared my channel with that guy. But your girlfriend is good enough. So, there are dirty places in India, but that's for poor people, rich people living a good life. And I understand that there's good areas. Net worth of 1 million is sufficient for living the whole life here in India. See ya, Craig says. Well, I have to been to many countries and want to visit more countries, see where I want to retire, yes. One more thing, please, channel owner. That's me, by the way. What is that? What is that? What is considered a good monthly income to retire person in the States or the Philippines? What? What is considered a good monthly income for a retired person in the United States? I think look, Tim, basic retirement costs, I think if you make under 2,000, you're suffering in America. If you have 10,000, you're doing well and can pretty much do whatever you want. Somewhere in between 2 and 10 is the range where people can figure out how to live well enough in America. But I believe if you have less than $2,000 a month coming in America, you're screwed. You're going to suffer. You're going to be a renter. You're going to struggle to buy your medicine and foods. But anything, you get further up, I think, $5,000 and above, you don't have to stress as much. In the Philippines, I think the same thing, but maybe $1,500. I think, you need to think about $1,500. Channel owner, can we have a WTSEPP group? I don't know what that is. You can have any group you want. I don't know what that is, though. Sorry. WTS, I don't know what that is. I have no clue what that is. So, what's up? WhatsApp? I don't have WhatsApp, but yeah, we can have one. I don't have WhatsApp. I'm not very smart. WhatsApp, what is it? Is that another social networking thing? I'll Google it. I'll tell you what, I'll Google it. I have an email address on my YouTube channel. I have that. We have a Facebook channel and a Facebook group. So here, I'll throw my Facebook group in there. Hang on. I have a Facebook group. Yeah, I don't know what's happened, but I'll look it up. PAC, I sent you an article about cruises from the Philippines. I saw that the other day, Tim. And that's something we've looked at is the cruises from the Philippines and jumping over to Singapore or Hong Kong, one of the two. There's my Facebook group, WhatsApp is like Facebook Messenger, only better. So you got to download it to your phone? Is that what you got to do? Craig says, only $149 a session. I'll look into it. Sure. Yeah, you can find us on Facebook, though. Yes, it's an app. Okay, I'll study it, I guess you got to have a phone number. Do you pay money for it? What do you do, Viking? Now, we're not touching crypto. So we're not going the crypto route. No money needed. I'll Google it and see if I can download it to... Can you download it to your desktop, like Messenger, or is it just on your phone? I might have it on my phone. I have a bunch of apps that I don't ever use in a folder in my phone. Is it a green app? Like Cash Pay or something? I don't know. I'll figure it out, Viking. I'll figure it out. And then once I set it up, and it works like Messenger, basically, is what you're saying? Okay. So it is the green app. There is a green app on my phone. There is. So it may already be here. I'll look into that tonight. So, yeah, there's a green app that has like a W or something in it. But I've never really gone to it. I just know I think it came preloaded or something on my phone. So I'll have to check that out. Yes, we are active on Facebook. Yes. Different places on Facebook. We have pages and groups and then our normal channel also. So yes, we're very active on Facebook. My wife does stuff on Facebook. What do you call that, Craig? Craig, if you're still here, what do you call that? What does your wife do on Facebook and Lorelai does? Reels. My wife has her own blog or something, her own vlog. My wife has that. A bauble? Okay, I'll check it out. Okay. I will definitely check it out, everybody. I promise. And then if I get it figured out, what I do, just throw it in the chat and say, here you go, everybody. Here's my WhatsApp link. You can tell how smart I be. I'll be smart. I'll be smart. I got a blue hat on. I'm smart. So. But yeah, and I dropped our Facebook thing in there. You can find us on Facebook using that. Tim says he doesn't use the app either. All right, see, Tim and I are old. Maybe it's for the young people. Can you make any money off of it, Viking? Can we hustle? Can we make a side hustle out of it at all? Because, I need money to buy my wife a house. And I need money to buy a new mobility scooter. So, which I really do. But buying my wife a house would be really nice too. So can I make some money off of the WhatsApp? So, if I can make money off of it, I'll definitely research it. I have TikTok. Yeah, I have TikTok. You guys know that? Where's my TikTok? I have TikTok. Let me pull, before I hang up, let me hit TikTok. I have TikTok. Here. I don't know. I think this is my Fishing with PAC. You see that? That's also me, if you didn't know. Fishing with PAC is me. There's my TikTok thing for the Philippine-American couple. So Fishing with PAC is Fishing with Philippine-American couple. Well, Thailand uses an app called Line, and Philippines uses other... Okay, all right. No, I'll get it checked out. I will. But I have TikTok. No, I'm not going to do crypto. I'm not going to hustle in crypto. I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. I have zero interest in crypto. Don't like it. If I can't touch it, I don't care. Crypto is something I will never do. I'm not either. I'm not into it. So I'm not into it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. But yeah, there's my TikTok thingamajiggy. But remember, Fishing with PAC is literally me. You can see the fat guy with the fish on it. It's me. So it's just my other channel. I need to start growing so I can do live streams when I'm out fishing. So if you guys if I come on your live streams, I need to do that. I need to come on to people's live streams with Fishing with PAC because I need 50 subs so I can go and do live streams about fishing on that channel. So I need to work on that. You guys remind me to do that. And if you haven't subscribed to Fishing with PAC, please do, because I need 50 people. Then I can go live if I understand it right. Well, I'm not really interested in making money. I want people to give me money. I want people to give me money. That's what I want. And then I will invest it in the stock market how I see fit, land, property, stuff like that. I want people to donate money to me. I have a private consulting business where I'm a life coach and a death coach. I want people to hire me and to pay memberships and hire me through PayPal to be their life coach or their death coach. That's what I offer. You can do live streams even at 5 cents. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was 50. Oh, yeah, you could use StreamYard. Yeah. Yes. Nice hat. Thank you. That's my new hat. You talking about me, Tim? That's my new hat, buddy. It's one of my new hats. I got to work on a hat tomorrow. I got to starch it. It came in all bent to hell. So I got to steam it and then try to starch it into shape tomorrow. But, yes. I didn't, oh yeah, okay. So I can do it through StreamYard. Okay, I might have to start doing that, Viking. I'm going to make a note to tell myself. So, Because I'm not trying to make that a gigantic channel, but I figure when I go out and do fishing live streams, and if we ever get to move to Florida or Alabama, I plan on doing a lot of fishing. And I'm setting that channel up to be a moneymaker down the road is what I've done. Need money for more hats and tropical shirts. You got that right. You guys all saw the short I did that has the new shirts on it, right? I need money. Viking, will you come to India? Yes, he'll come to India if you pay him. Viking, it can be your consultant. I invite you as my guest to my home. Stay a few days with me. I have a luxury house built in modern construction. You will not feel any inconvenience, and I will bring many, 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 many skinny, sexy women over the age of 18 to meet you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 8 o'clock. Let's jump off of here. Once again, thank you all. I'll be live again tomorrow. I don't know what time, but I'll be live tomorrow. So, thank you all for coming in. Thank you for being here. This is on my bucket list, but not yet. I got to go back to Thailand because there's some Thai women missing me. So that's what he has to do. So, yeah, I have to figure it out first, but I don't have it now to give you. So come back in a day or two, and I'll try to have WhatsApp figured out. But I don't have one to give you. So, otherwise, I'd be happy to share it with everybody. But I don't have it. I don't even barely know what it is. So, you know. Viking, I guess he's asking if you're interested in exchanging. Get back. Gotta get this back. All right, let me get back here. Or even on Facebook. Well, Viking will be back next time. So my batteries are running low, so thanks for all the thumbs up. I don't use TikTok. Nobody watches my TikTok because I don't have any tits to show anybody. But at least I have it, and I'm semi-active, hoping someday maybe I'll hit lightning. Yeah, Viking saying, come the next time, we'll all work it out, okay? So just come next time. All right? So we'll see everybody next time. We appreciate everybody being here. Thank you all for doing that. And I don't know, probably around the same time. I usually jump on in the evening, like today, about the same time as today. It's usually when I'm around, all right? Well, it's not absolutely daily, but I do 3 or 4 a week, so yeah. So I'll try to be live. Tomorrow's Wednesday in America, so I should be live tomorrow at this time. Tomorrow, yeah, I should be live about this time tomorrow, all right? All right, everybody, take care. We appreciate you. See ya.